And welcome, my name is Gamed Out and I'm going to give you some tips on playing Arma2 DayZ mod. I've been playing it for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and I see other YouTube videos people playing, sometimes making huge mistakes, other times not, but here we go. Well, the first thing you probably want to do is when you get into the game, go into options, game options, and turn your aiming dead zone and head bob. Dead zone both probably to nothing. You might want a little bit of head bob. I'd just keep it off. That affects when you're in first person the head bob, like when you're running. See, I'm not getting much head movement. I'm not getting motion sickness. If you have a bigger monitor that fills more of your field of view, the head bob is going to be it's going to give you motion sickness and disorientating or whatever. Another thing you'll want to do, controls, I've moved smoothing down to nothing. Another thing you may want to do is the fast forward key. Like as the game comes, you can double tap forward and you'll run. That you can accidentally stir the zombies, like by double tapping left or right. You want to turn all that off. You can. I'm sorry, my neighbors are slamming their door here. So you might want to turn off some of the double tap run stuff. I think it was fast forward is usually set up to double. So anyway, here now I don't use ASTF. I don't use WASD, WASD for movement, but I think that's recommended. But I use ASTF, A and F for right, strafe left and right, and then S for forward and D for backward. But that's me. No one else I know does that, so. You don't have to, you can ignore all that. And I just swap the F and W key. But by default, the F key will toggle your fire mode. For me, it's W. But you don't have to, I would not recommend changing that for you. What else? So in here, in the top right, you'll see the ear and eye symbol. And that's very important to keep an eye on. That's how much sound you're making and how visible you are. Right now I have a 1 next to the eye. You'll see 1 mark there, and that says I'm pretty low, and the ear has no mark. I'm not making any sound here. Once I start moving, see I'm crouched. This is like a crouched run here. Watch, I'll show you. See I'm crouched. And you see the ear has 1 dash or mark there, and the eye has 2. And once I stop moving, I go down. And watch, I'll go prone here, and now I have I'm not making any sound, and I'm not visible. Now, if a zombie comes really close, they're going to see me anyway. So that doesn't mean I'm completely invisible, it just means that's the lowest the game goes. And I see a lot now, there are different things if you are moving on a road, you're going to be more visible and make more sound. So than if you're moving on grass. And also some pasture land is the same as a road. You make a lot of sound and you're very visible. Alright, so that affects the zombies, if you aggravate them or not, if you aggro them. So here I am, I run when the zombies are when I'm that close, he might even see me if I was on see, this is the game, sometimes this has no grass right here. You hear the different sound, like here. See, you want to keep your eye on that. Just because you're in a pasture doesn't mean that you're not going to be more visible at certain parts in the pasture. Yep. Whoa, there's a zombie falling down. Oh, he just hit the fence or something. You see him over there? The zombies will get knocked down. Another thing, if you don't have a map, see I have a map here when I hit the M key, but that's because I found it. Here's a road sign. See, you'll want this road sign. And that's in Cyrillic. That's not the regular alphabet that we use, the Western English alphabet. So that's Cyrillic. You'll want to find a map. You can use Google Maps online and find a map until you find one in game. And there are maps that show both the English writing letters and the Cyrillic. And you can Alt-Tab. I know that I've used both NVIDIA and ATI cards, and this game seems to be in Windows 7 64. It seems to be very friendly to Alt-Tabbing. So, yeah, NVIDIA. Now here's a road. See, watch. I have two. I'm sitting still, but I have two marks next to the eye. So just sitting there, I'm more visible. If I go here into the pasture, I should be less visible. No, I guess it's just because I'm so much out in the open. I'm trying to find a place. No. Watch what happens when I get on the pavement. Now I'm doing 3. Look at that, 3 marks next to the eye and 2 next to the ear. And as soon as I get off the road, then I'm much better. And here I'm under a tree. I don't think it's the shade. I think it's just, see here, still one, when I'm not moving, it's 1 mark next to the eye. It would be nice if the game took shadows into effect for aggro. I don't think that's going to happen with Arma2. And I can go prone here, and you can, especially when you're with other people, when you're playing co-op with friends or whatever, or just pickups, your team needs to be more cautious. I've seen this in several videos. People start running everywhere, and that aggroes the zombies, and then they waste all their ammo, and then they end up running away, and some of them die, and they end up getting split up. So especially when you're in a group, you need to take extra precautions to not aggro the zombies. There are binoculars. The B key brings up binoculars. Like here's a barn. Now the screen is shaking here because I've been running around. I'm not moving the mouse at all. That's the game doing that. That's how it's supposed to behave. Now that's a barn. It doesn't have that's a single level barn. I'm not too inclined to go to that village. I think you want to be careful about zombies. Now they're trying to get it so the zombies can't see you through walls, and depending on when you're watching this, they may have eventually fixed that. I guess I'll put a speech bubble up if I can. That'll talk about that. What else? So the C key is standing up. X key is crouched, and Z goes prone. Double tapping control key will let you lower your weapon and raise it. Actually, if you just click, you'll bring it back up, and then double tap control brings it down, click brings it up. So if you don't want to be hostile, see how I can walk around. See, oh here, okay, double tapping shift toggles between run and slow movement. So here I'm going slow. Now I'll double tap shift. Now I'm running. Double tap shift, going slow again. Now if I raise my weapon, whoops. Let's move forward now. I can raise my weapon. Now this is like a hostile thing if you're moving around and someone sees you coming and you've got your weapon raised, they might view you as hostile. Now if you're running, you don't have it raised. But when you just see now my crosshair is up. Now depending on the server, they may or may not be crosshairs. Some servers have that disabled to make the game a little more difficult. So it's more friendly to crouch and walk like this. If you're in a town and you're trying to avoid zombies and you don't want to seem threatening to other players, double tap control key and you'll drop your weapon down. So I'll double tap my... Now watch what happens in the top right. My sound and visibility, I'm going to go from crouched to running here, watch. So now I'm standing straight up and I've got 3 bars on visibility and 2 bars on sound. And I'm now crouched, now it's 1 bar on sound and 2 bars on visibility. But you use, per meter, you use less food and water when you're standing upright. You'll use the same amount, you'll move slower when you're crouched, but you'll use the same amount of energy, as far as I can determine. Look at this little guy here, this little scarecrow. Hello, little scarecrow. Yes, I know. Oh, you little scarecrow. I'm really being silly stupid. So, it's a good shot. Now, in the game, you're really trying to find loot to survive. You have gear, hit G for your gear. Now I've got a primer. You spawn maybe with a weapon, maybe not. They're taking that out of the game for now. I think it's a little absurd. They need to give you some sort of weapon, like a melee weapon, like an axe or something, or machete or something, so you can take the zombies down. But anyway, it's sort of a game like an RPG. You need to find loot, food, water, ammunition, weapons, medical supplies, and there's other stuff in the game like stuff to build, repair and build vehicles, etc. There's also flares and chem lights. You can, for nighttime, you will want to use flares, unless if you're really stealth ninja, then you won't want to use flares. Anyway, so this barn, and anywhere where there's loot, see there's a zombie here. Anywhere where there's loot, you're gonna find zombies spawned. Currently, that's how the game works. Now, I think there are a few places where they spawn where there's no loot, but generally, and here I don't know if there's a zombie on the other side of this barn. You can't open those doors. In this particular barn, those don't open. Usually doors do open. I have to go around the other side. There might be a zombie over there. I'm going to double tap shift and move around more slowly. But I'm also using my ears. I'm listening for zombies. I could even get my pistol ready. Now, there are different, like the one people use a lot is the Makarov pistol. I'm using this one, the M1911. That was 45 caliber. It's really powerful. It kills zombies with one shot. Other pistols don't do that. The game has very accurate bullet characteristics and all the, what do you call it? Okay, so there's nothing in here except tin cans. That's it. You hit G when you see how it says take empty tin can, drop painkillers. Instead of doing that, if I click my scroll wheel down, I would do that, but I don't want to drop my painkillers and take an empty tin can. So I just hit G and it'll show me on the left column, see here, gear. Left column is what's on the ground. Right column is what I have in my inventory. So here, I don't have any slots to carry anything else. I'm full. I have some morphine, painkillers, blood bag. You can single click one of these and you won't drop it. So here we can hear a zombie out there. Let's say I want to move it into my backpack here. I double click my backpack. Now that the left column is what's on the ground. Could be anything, and the right side is what's in my backpack. So I do have one empty slot here. See, I could move one tin can. See there, I clicked that into, I put it back though, I don't need it. Uh-oh. So I've warned him. Oh, is he gonna come in? Oh, he's trying. I just aggroed him. Probably not a bad thing to do since I'm showing you how to play. You want to generally run inside when you've aggroed them, because they slow down the way the game AI works and the movement of the game works. Now here's what I need to probably do. Once I shoot him, if I shoot him here, he's gonna bring all his buddies and friends. But as it is now, only he's... So I shot him. I barely hit him though. See here, all the other ones are gonna come up now. Because I shot him here. I could have run away like, you know, a kilometer or... See, he walked through the wall. That's just sort of a bug in the game here. Looks like this guy may come through the wall too. See, a one-shot kill with the 45. I'm gonna headshot him. Missed. Reloading. R key reloads. Now when you come up to a body, the quickest way to see if there's loot, you see the little icon, the little gun and thing with 3 dashes. Scroll your mouse wheel. See over on the left edge of the screen it says gear, hide body, and but that's just switches. If I click this, I'll just switch to my Winchester. It doesn't have anything to do with loot. So I'm going to go back to my pistol. So it doesn't say anything about any wet loot on the body, because here, oh no, it looks steel bolt. So he did have something on him. He had a bolt. If you're using a crossbow, that's what you'd want. Now that may be in the newer patches. They took that out, but it used to say at the top, take steel bolt. But it didn't, so I thought there wouldn't be anything on there, so I'm surprised that came up. Anyway, you can hide the body too. If you want, let's say you want to leave no trace. You don't want someone else following you or knowing you were here, because in this game that matters. That you do want to be stealthy in this game. See here, he had a Lee Enfield magazine. That's useless, so I hide body. I don't like the Lee Enfield. I'm looking around for other players here. Gear. So he didn't have anything. But you can hit G when you see that icon. You can hit G, or you can use the mouse wheel and then use the mouse to click down. The mouse wheel rather. Okay, I'm gonna hide the body too, because someone, if they heard my shots, they might come this way. If they see the body, they'll know exactly where I was. So the pistol, I think the pistols are generally better than the rifles like the Winchester. People are going to hear that from a further distance, so the pistol is good. There are also silenced pistols in the game, and it's easy to move the silencer onto the pistol in the inventory. I don't have one now to show you though. That little barn only had 3 zombies. I'm just keeping my eye out, moving the mouse wheel around. You can also use if you hold the Alt key, the left Alt, you can pan your camera around. That's like your head movement. See how my head's looking away, and here it's head looking away. That's your head. Your head movement is different than your body movement if you're holding the Alt key down. See, my crosshair is staying in one place there, one direction. Now to let go of the Alt key, it's just like any other shooter game. The numeric keypad, the Enter key, toggles between first and third person. A lot of people are rather religious about playing first person, or some servers turn third person off. I like third person. I can see around myself better. Alright, one thing so I want to check my map where I sort of forgot where I was. Googleovo. So here was the barn we were just at. Looks like there's a pit or something up here. So we're in here in the woods somewhere. I think I want to check this out. This would be like a good place someone might put a tent. So we need to go north here. On that hilltop really is where I want to go. Oops, I hit that's right. If you come up to a fence, you can hit, if there's a fence right in front of me, I come right up to it and then hit the V key and I'll hop over it. You can also hit the hop over key anytime you want, and it'll still do the animation. And a lot of people hit it accidentally. So right now I'm just using my map skills here to get to this hilltop. There's like a little depression or little pit near the mountain top. I think I'm going the right way. I might want to go more this way. When you come out of map mode, your default crouch, you'll be crouched, so you gotta hit C. Watch. I'm standing up, right? I'll hit map, watch, and I'll come back out of map, and I'm crouched. See, my knee is bent there. I have to get back up. So every time you come out of map, it's a little repetitive, or it's like, oh, did I do that again? Why can't I just stand upright and look at my map? Anyway, this is the game. That's how the game works. So we're at the hilltop, but we're not. I don't think we're where I thought I was. Have to go up a little further. One thing when you're traveling, you want to keep your eyes peeled for tents. You'll just find them. And there's only one tent model at the moment. But hopefully they'll add some more. Now the kind of tent I'm talking about is the one that you can deploy and you store loot and gear and equipment in that tent. Now there are tents in the cities. That's not the kind of tent I'm talking about. There's like a little flat area up here. So here we have, okay, so I'm here on this Lesnoy Crebet, and I really wanted to be over here. When we came up here on this pass in between the two, this seems like a good place to put a tent though. Now, I mentioned before, if you have flares or a light stick, you can use the F key, as in Frank, to toggle your fire. And see on the top right, it says M1911. If you hit the F key rather, you'll change fire mode, and you can, when it says flare, then you're in flare mode. Also chem light. Now, a chem light is interesting. You can drop one or throw one down right in front of you and pick it up, and at nighttime you'll glow. You'll have like a light source to take with you. The only problem with that is you're very visible to other players, obviously. So there's an inherent risk in doing that. So there are night vision goggles. I haven't come across them myself. There are certain places where you can get them. I think the Northwest Airfield. See, there's like a pit. This is what I was talking about. There's even a little wall over here, huh? I'm gonna go crouched mode. Just now, they like this. They actually use. I think they use real map data for the game. So why, this is like real map data in this country in Czech Republic. See, here we are on, this is this dig out of the mountainside, a mountaintop, a little bit of a mine here. But this might be a good place to set up like a party tent put some tents up here or something. So that's what that looks like on the map when you see these funny symbols, like all the map lines connecting like that. Okay, I got